What's a popular marketing best practice you now think is dangerous?
I think every kind of best practice is bad. If you're doing best practice, you're already late because you're like copying something someone else did.
How do you market an address without it becoming superficial?
I think we don't sell them as a trophy, but we sell them as kind of a status. By having this opportunity, then you can, as a customer, prove that there is something behind it.
Where else could AI be implemented?
And I think up to some point you can automate that, but you have to be really careful because luxury and premium is still about people and being in touch.
Welcome to the Marketing Frontlines. Today I'm joined by a very special guest, Thorsten Karras, Head of Marketing at Satellite Office. Thank you so much for joining and thank you so much for being here. Very excited. Maybe you could introduce yourself in your own way.
Hello, you heard already my name, Thorsten. I'm working for Satellite Office for the past 1.5 to 2 years. We decided now 2 years sounds better.
1 year and 8 months.
Yeah, that's right. Working in the marketing for, let's say, over 10 years. It's quite a lot. And just love to be here and see where we are going. It's my first time, by the way, podcasting.
Congrats. Thorsten, I've done a lot of research on you. I've done my homework. And what I've understood about you, you're very much numbers driven, very systematic, very much about structure kind of guy. When did you realize that marketing is not all about creatives, but rather, psychology plus measurement? Was there a moment when it sort of clicked, or how did you arrive at this?
I would say it actually starts quite early because, as you said, it's actually I'm a little monk, but I also have I have my taste. But I realized something that I find obviously ugly was actually performing very well. So therefore, I needed to see, okay, where can we differentiate between my taste and the measurement and everything. So I also had psychology, of course, when I studied, and I wanted to be psychologist. We'll see, something like that. And so I always find this very interesting. But yeah, at the end, it's just about numbers. It's about how much outcome it has.
You've been focusing in those categories where nobody buys impulsively, really, lighting B2B, and now you're selling premium office spaces. What do these sort of unsexy markets teach you, that no other flashy tech marketing company will?
The thing is, I'm a private person. I go, like we heard, I go on Instagram and stuff like that. And I am this person impulsively buying something. And then I regret it. So the thing then for here is I need to see where can we position something that is not impulsively buying. And it makes you humiliate. Do you know what I mean?
Teaches you humility?
That you're patient, and you need to see how can you change something to a slow processing thing that makes people buy something that they actually don't really want or need. But at the end of the day, it's just a how do I say it? They should not regret what they bought. I think that's the biggest thing, not regretting something. And that's also everything that we try to build something around.
So it was for you, it then was always important to work with a good product.
Definitely. If I can't stand behind something that I really like, or at least think it's very helpful, then no, I can't market that.
Do you actually work at Satellite offices?
I do work at Satellite Offices, and I really love it because you come into this building and we are at the Kudam. It's beautiful. Even the entrance, it's marble, everything, and then you come into your office and you think wow, okay, I love it.
I've heard you guys are talking a lot about silence as sort of as this unique selling point. What is it about silence that you are?
It was. Initially it was invented by our founder and still CEO, Anita Güdica, and she has this concept of pure silent. Sounds interesting, okay. And at some point you realize, in a world of infinite content and you have like all this noise around you, silence is kind of a luxury. And it's really nice to come to a place where you can just work in silence and like listen to your own thoughts.
You're marketing premium locations in Berlin. Kudamm, Unter den Linden, Französische Straße. These are like addresses with status. But, how do you market an address without it becoming superficial and, make it mean something concrete to a buyer?
A tricky question because, of course, at one point we want to sell as many as possible because that's our business. On the other hand, I think we don't sell them as a trophy, but we sell them as kind of a status. And by having this opportunity, then you can, as a customer, prove that there is something behind it. And of course, we also look for who are we working together with, who's our customer. At some point, we legally have to verify identities and stuff like that. So we also don't work with everyone. And that at the end comes to a point where you as customer and we as satellite office can contribute from the status that you are having on the streets.
Like a true luxury brand, not for everyone.
Exactly. I mean, of course, we could sell it to someone who is, selling stuff that, sex toys, whatever. We wouldn't work together with those people because at the end, it means something to be at this kind of streets.
Who are you actually working with? Can you disclose a couple of customers?
Can I? That's a good question. In the past, we had the Four Seasons. We are not only based in, for example, in Berlin or in Germany. We are also in Swiss and soon in Italy and Switzerland. And the Four Seasons, for example. You would think like, why would the Four Seasons need us? But it's good for them to have also like rooms outside, meeting rooms, meeting environments that are not within a hotel and stuff like that. So we have Rolex, for example, and a few others.
Tell me a little bit more about like maybe one strategy that you tried at Satellite and that it didn't work.
Yeah, we, for example, I think that was last year, we had this AI assisted outbound. Sounded very interesting, very techy and scalable and super good. So we tried and we realized that's not, it's not within the context of the brand. At Satellite, we're not there yet where I want to be with the CRM. In the past, we worked with Brevo. It's basically for newsletters and a few things for automations. It's like MailChimp, for example, but that's just the one side going out to the customer. At the moment, we are changing to another system, which is more of a ERP kind of also CRM and
ERP.
ERP is it's for all the accounting, it's for the salespeople, it's for the marketing people. Basically, everybody should work on it because the beauty here is like the single source of truth for the data. Blah blah blah. Exactly, and so then I think the beauty starts here with the automations. Then we can set up. We have all this data from customers and being able to, for example, having like a customer for an office. And of course, they get their onboarding, the office, and everything that you can do at Satellite Office is presented to you. But I mean, we're humans, we forget everything. And someone was talking to me like 1 hour, but I had my mind somewhere else. And I forgot about, for example, meeting rooms. Oh, I have meeting rooms in this office, also good. And now I'm the person who, like, after 1 month, 2 months, can remind you, like, hey, you've never booked a meeting room. How about this one? Very beautiful. So this is where it actually gets interesting. And in the past, I worked with eMarces, for example. Of course, I think everybody in marketing worked at one point with MailChimp and stuff like that. And here it's about the newsletters, which we are using as more like a brand vehicle. It's more about getting information about Satellite Office and being kind of trustworthy because you see something's happening here. It's not just a company I've never heard of, never seen before.
What's a popular marketing best practice you now think is dangerous? Because it creates sort of an illusion of a progress while, distracting from the work that actually brings you revenue.
Trying to be bold here, I think every kind of best practice is bad, because of course at one point it sounds like best practice that were good for a lot of people, but especially if you are like in the premium segment, if you're doing best practice, you're already late because you're like copying something someone else did, and it's really hard to see if this is something for your target group, for your niche. On the other hand, I think if we would just want to pick out something, I would say best practice that goes for engagement is not very good, because engagement is not conversion, it's not really the outcome that you want. And you can have tons of likes, but there's no money coming from it. So, yeah.
So kind of a balance between listening to the trends, learning about best practices, but always making sure you're building custom solutions for your own.
Exactly. Always like trying to see if this is working together with your brand, your positioning, and your marketing context.
And aside from your AI-driven outreach campaign that you mentioned, are you also doing anything else with AI currently? There are so many things happening.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess everybody's doing something, even though they are maybe not even knowing they are doing something with AI. But I love to have this ChatGPT Gemini as sparringspartner, because of course I'm asking them, hey, is it just like a stupid thing that I'm thinking of right now? And I mean, they of course always tell me I'm right, I'm good. So it's a great thing you're doing here. No, but for research, it's very good, I think. I mean, you always have to justify and see if this is really not hallucination. But therefore, I love it. And also structuring texts and tons of materials that you have. Therefore, it's very good. I'm also kind of nerdy, techie, geeky, and I love to test new tools. I mean, we've, for example, 11 Labs, we created our own satellite office song just because I wanted to at this very moment, and just being able to do silly things it's also great. But yeah, for the future, we are also, of course, thinking about AI agents, especially on the website, for example, because at the moment we have like this product finder, which is like our go-to thing for everybody who comes on the webpage. They are looking for like, okay, I need a place, I need a product, please give me something, which is already working, but being able to give them something they can talk to, I think that could be a next step.
But not a chatbot, because for your brand...
Exactly, not this thing like on the upper right corner chatbot thing and like, yeah, can I help you? And oh, sorry, I can't answer that. No, that not, but in a, let's say, more intrusive way or in a more comfortable way. We'll see about it.
Cool. Thorsten, imagine I'm just sitting next to you, watching you do your work, do what you do all day. What would I be seeing you do? Would it be like focusing on the CRM or focusing on creatives or data?
I would say two things. One is juggling, one is aligning. Juggling like all the tasks. I mean, even though we don't have like a huge team, but there's so many things you have to do, and always remember yourself like, oh shit, yeah, this is coming up, this is coming up, this is coming up, I have to do this and that. And of course, talking to your colleagues. And the other thing is aligning, and it's always about being within the brand positioning and looking about all the channels, the marketing channels that you want to do something with it. You mentioned it, like CRM for us, Google with SEO is a big thing, and AI, of course, also because SEO is a big thing, then AI is now also becoming a big thing. You always have to make sure that what you're doing here is aligned.
What are your main channels?
It's, as said, like SEA and SEO, because for us, the beauty here, it's bottom funnel, and therefore people are already kind of considering, okay, I need an office now, I need something. And as we learned before, buying an office is not impulsively driven, unfortunately. So therefore Google and Bing to some extent can be very helpful, but also CRM for keeping people. And I mean, it's like before, while, and after, you have to be within this customer journey somehow, and don't overpromise. Make sure that when you tell them you are premium, even if they come out of the office ideally, and this is actually what helps us a lot, is word of mouth, because they felt it's a great thing to be here, and we get a lot of customers by word of mouth. Yeah.
Credibility is everything.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like when you go to a really nice hotel and you have like your vacation, you have your like, you waited like 1 year for this beautiful holiday, and if what you expected within the catalog or like the website where you booked everything is not what you really got, then you're upset, and you will tell people. That's the same for us.
Definitely. Or like going to a really nice restaurant and getting a food poisoning. Yeah. You have to get your facts right first, like the basics first, and then build on top, because this would ruin all the fancy aspects built on top of it.
I think that's a really good point, like keeping up with the basics, because we always tend to be, let's make this even more great, let's make this better, and like there's 20 things I would like to do, but keeping up with the basics and just make sure that this is already good helps you a lot.
And imagine you had to rebuild a marketing function from scratch tomorrow. What would you do in the first 30 days, and what you would definitely not do?
The first thing I did there was kind of first listening, really. Talking to sales is always very, very, very interesting, because, I mean, every sales representative has his own, idea of how things should go, but they are the ones talking to customers the most. They have ideas about what the customer wants and everything. So you have to understand what the customer really wants and why they're hesitating on something. So of course, there comes the measurement, the numbers again. You have to see, do I have like a mid-funnel problem? Do I have like a bottom funnel problem? There's a lot of leads coming in, but for some reason they don't convert. Well, then you have a problem maybe in your CRM, maybe on the website, maybe the formula is broken, who knows, stuff like that. Or you have just like 2 leads a month, could be tricky. Yeah. So yeah, just from scratch, or first look at everything, the data, and listening.
Are there any KPIs that make it to your top, which are sort of non-conventional or would be non-obvious?
I wouldn't say KPIs, but again, here I would say like me as marketer, sometimes I have a big problem with too many data. Like for example, Meta is telling me, hey, it's really great here, it's looking good, you have like 1 million impressions. Then Google Analytics is telling me, well, it's not 1 million, it's more of 1,000. So there's a huge discrepancy already. Then I look into my CRM, which would be the first, for me at least, the best source of truth here. They tell you, well, it's not 1,000, it's more of a 500 or something. And now it's like, okay, who to trust to, and what is it actually telling me? Is it like, where's the problem? That's again very tricky. Google Analytics sometimes tells me where a problem is, because this channel is bad, this channel is bad. But again, salespeople, I mean, they are the ones talking to people, and ideally they ask like, okay, where have you found us? Why would you not work with us together? It's a lot of, I mean, it's like by 50% it's pricing. That's always thing. You have to leave that out, but the rest is really important and interesting.
Is there anything you're excited about to build in 2026? Is there one thing that you really want to get done and settle life?
Yes, a lot of opportunities and a lot of basic things, because it's the foundation for probably everything we do within the next 5 years. And then comes my geek part. Now I have like this opportunity to have, like in Zapier, for example, I can now put a lot of tools onto it and play with them. The other thing, of course, AI. And I said SEO, since we are like closely to 30 years satellite office exists, and they have a very good reputation. The SEO is great, which gives us a good head start also for AI, because it recognizes us, and we of course want to do more on AI. And here comes the agents, and also for me always PR was very underestimated. I thought the good times of PR are over. Now I know better, maybe. Let's see. So we are doing more on PR already, because PR and SEO together, AI, voila.
The magic potion.
The magic, yeah.
I'm thinking about what you said earlier about AI implementing it in sort of the product search part of the website. Where else could AI be implemented in such a, well, not niche, but luxury brand like yours?
Also interesting. I mean, of course, since probably 1 or 2 years, every marketer thinks of where can I put AI into marketing, and I think there's a few internal things you can do, not especially for customers, but for yourself, and being better to address them. And this is like for research, as I said, also for content creation. I think there comes a tricky part with it, because there's a lot of average things you can then come out with, which also looks like AI or feels like, okay, cheap, exactly. But of course, we've done that already, and I mean, we have never came up with so many things without AI. That's this for sure. But for the customer, we are thinking about at the moment we have like this office service, and there's real people doing real stuff for you, which is great and should never be replaced up to some point. But if you're like scaling up, then of course you need to know, okay, what can I do with AI here? And maybe like a virtual assistant that helps you already with all your appointments. And we have like, for us, it's we have like a telephone service. So if you buy like this business address with us, someone is calling you, like the people on the front desk will write down notes for you. They will come up with, hey, this is blah, blah, I'm this company, how can I help you? This already gives you a quite nice feeling. And the same goes for post service. We can give everything to you. We can scan it in. So you have like this concierge service. And I think up to some point you can automate that, but you have to be really careful, because at the end I really think luxury and premium is still about people and being in touch somehow.
So when automating those aspects around the concierge service, how are you going to approach this? Are you going to like start small and then test and see how it works, or?
Ideally, exactly like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of testing, and maybe doing like at least some A/B tests. Doing this at maybe in Berlin, doing this in Hamburg, and let's see. I mean,
I like that you're gonna start with Berlin.
Yes, of course, and then see how actually do people want that. I mean, that's the first thing you need to know. Do they really want that? Because I think more than once we thought, hey, this is a really great idea. And customers said, nope, don't need it.
All right. Maybe the finalizing question would be, what is the one thing that you sort of learned the hard way last year in 2025 and will take that learning into the 2026?
Probably something that comes with a lot of tension or friction was getting into this satellite office brand identity. I wouldn't consider myself as a huge premium fan in the way of I don't wear only Chanel and stuff like that. I love it. It looks good. But for me, jeans, white shirt, fine. I'm good with that. But you have to realize what is important for people who like that. And also, why would you, I mean, it's we talked about the business address. Is it really just like having Kudam on your business card, or is there something coming with it? And why would you come to a place like us? I mean, since we are premium, and at least we say about ourselves, it's a luxury thing, then of course it has its costs with it. But at the end, it's really about getting over frictions. And I had to learn that brand is super important, and you really have to understand what this brand is coming with, because otherwise you can't market it properly.
Thank you so much, Thorsten. It was a pleasure.
Thanks again, and for me as well.
Great job.